All right, I just wanted to review this question here since it was a bit tricky. The first thing you want to do when you get something like this is just to look at if there what kind of titles, what kind of information are we getting. The key word that should stand out to you is the word exports, and all three of these countries are listing their exports. So having the knowledge of what an export is going to help you. Knowing that exports are products that are sold to other countries, export, exit, these are ones that are sent out. Next step would be to just read the question very carefully. And it says specialization occurs when a country focuses its economy on producing a limited number of goods and services. Okay. Imagine that the price of oil drops suddenly. That's very key. Choose two of the three countries. Describe how this unexpected drop would affect each of the two countries. Then explain why the drop in oil prices would affect their economies in that way. So first of all, we choose two countries, but the big thing is we just got to know that the price of oil drops suddenly. So which countries can we list that it'll affect? Well, Saudi Arabia has 87% of their exports are oil. That means that they are selling oil to other countries. 87% of their exports, 87% of everything they sell is oil. So if all of a sudden the price of oil drops, like let's say it used to be $5 a barrel and now it's only $3 a barrel, well, if almost everything they sell is oil, then think about how that would affect them. That's going to make their price of oil go down, which means that when they sell oil, they're not making as much money. So Saudi Arabia is an obvious choice. And when it says describe how this unexpected drop would affect them and why the drop would affect economies in that way, what we're looking for would be for you to explain that Saudi Arabia would be impacted because they rely on oil a lot more than these other two countries, since 87% of their exports are oil. And how they would be impacted is that they wouldn't make as much money on oil, and so therefore that would impact them as a country because their economy would drop. Now, if the other country you chose is Israel, you could say that since oil isn't even listed here, you could say that Israel or Israeli nation would be not impacted much at all because they don't really export much oil. It doesn't list it. It's possible they export some, but it doesn't list it. So they don't rely on oil. So therefore, Israel would not be impacted by this drop in oil. Or you could add maybe that they would be impacted because if they buy oil from Saudi Arabia, they could buy it at a cheaper price. So you could have explained it like that. But most people are going to choose Saudi Arabia and Egypt because those are the two that list oil. And so Saudi Arabia was impacted the most. Egypt, you could say, is impacted, but not as much as Saudi Arabia. And one of your answers could just be that they are impacted slightly because they 32% are oil, and so their prices that they would make when they sell it would go down. Or you might say that they might try to focus on one of their other exports, like chemicals or agriculture. That could be something that they focus on instead. So that would be something that you would want to include in your answer is looking at this chart and identifying how oil's price going down would impact these countries, remembering that it's exports and remembering that as the price goes down, that's less money that they can make.